How's it going, guys? Mike Murtis, Gamer Logic, and today's topic is, what was your first video game movie that you saw? And I'm not talking about, say, The Wizard, where, that was just more of a glorified Nintendo commercial with a plot thrown into it. I'm talking about a live-action adaptation of some of the biggest video game franchises out there. And my first one was Super Mario Brothers, the movie. Yeah. When it was first announced that there was going to be a Super Mario Brothers movie, I was really, really excited for it. Being a Nintendo fan, it was a no-brainer, and it showed that video games, at least prior to me seeing this, it showed to me that video games, the storylines, the concepts could be taken from that small screen and put on a big screen and be popular, and millions of people would want to go see this movie, right? But man, the hype for that movie was huge among Nintendo fans, and for me personally, seeing the stuff that came out for it, the promotional stuff, the toys and everything that came out for it, really hyped me up for the movie more. Like, I can recall seeing a 7-Eleven promotional deal with the Slurpee cups. They always did the Slurpee cups. They still do to this day with gaming stuff. But one of their promotions was a Super Mario Brothers Slurpee with a Super Mario Brothers Slurpee cup. And I remember asking my parents, because we had no 7-Elevens local to us. There was one the next town over. And when my mom happened to be going to the next town over, I begged her, can we please stop at 7-Eleven and get a Super Mario Brothers Slurpee and a Super Mario Brothers Slurpee cup. So she actually said yes. She took us over to the 7-Eleven, and I remember getting the Slurpee cups. I got one, and my little brother got one, and they were pretty plain. I think I remember them. I'll have to look on eBay and see if I can remember exactly what they look like. Maybe someone has them still. But they were blue cups, blue Slurpee cups with maybe a hologram on it. And it featured pretty much what you saw on the Mario Brothers movie poster, just the brothers with their wrenches together and kind of the metal logo of the Super Mario Brothers movie. But that pumped me up. And then what starts popping up on TV? Commercials for Super Mario Brothers action figures. Now, you got to realize up to this point that we had very limited amount of Nintendo action figures and goodies that was coming out over here. We didn't really have any figures. We had these World of Nintendo trophies, basically, that your parents could buy if you beat a certain Nintendo game. That was as close as you got to any sort of Nintendo toy. There was also the Super Mario Bros. 3 Happy Meal stuff. That was as close as we got to regular toys for Nintendo stuff. But here it was, Super Mario Bros. Toys. And in my mind as a kid, this was hopefully going to open up the floodgates for like Zelda toys and all this other stuff. And I remember going to a Walmart. My dad just got paid on a Wednesday, and he took us again to the next town over, because the town we were at didn't have crap. And we went to the Walmart, and I got a Super Mario Brothers the movie Mario figure, Mario, and my little brother got the Luigi Mario figure. So there we were, these really goofy looking renditions of the Super Mario Brothers characters with their launchers and everything they had. I loved them. I mean, thinking back of it now, they were probably pretty terrible, but it was like the first action figure you could really get of a Nintendo product, so that was huge. That was huge for me at the time. So when it came time to see the Super Mario Brothers movie, going to the theater to see it, here's the weird thing. We never saw it in the theater. I don't know why we didn't see it in the theater. I don't know if maybe the reviews for it were so bad back then that my parents didn't want to waste the money going to the theater, because they didn't tell us it was bad. But no, we didn't get it until it was out on VHS in rental stores and we could rent it. And what did I think of it? To be honest with you, I can't remember what I thought of the movie. I barely remember any of the scenes. It must have been that bad that I've kind of blocked it out of my head. Like, I remember small stupid stuff about the movie, like the fact that they were using super scopes to fire at Koopa and all the enemies in the movie. I remember seeing Yoshi and looking at Yoshi and being completely weirded out because, I don't know, you take that little green dinosaur you see, and then You make a live action version of them, it was just weird. I remember Toad and his stupid harmonica, just stuff like that. But other than that, there's not a ton I remember about that movie, and I want to revisit it. But funny enough, RiffTrax, which is the guys from Mystery Science Theater 3000, have done that movie. And if you're unfamiliar with that, those types of movies, Mystery Science Theater 3000, it's basically guys just making fun of the movies, adding lines and stuff like that. It's got a lot of humor to it. It's a lot of fun. So I think I may download that by those guys and watch the movie that way. Maybe I'll enjoy it more. Typically, when these guys do stuff like that, I enjoy it a ton more. But hey, I haven't seen it in years. I've never wanted to. But yeah, that's kind of my memories of the Super Mario Brothers movie. And apart from that, apart from the Super Mario Brothers movie, the following year we had Street Fighter. We had Street Fighter the movie, which we didn't go see in theaters. That I didn't think too much of. And then the following year, I think it was 1995 anyway, we got Mortal Kombat. Now, Mortal Kombat, to me, even though I loved the Street Fighter franchise so much more, Mortal Kombat was an excellent video game movie at the time, I thought. It followed the source material pretty well. The soundtrack was phenomenal. That's still a great soundtrack. And I at least thought they tried to stay as close to the source material as they could and go off a little bit in their own direction, but still make it feel like a Mortal Kombat franchise, like you were basically seeing the game come to life. So that holds up to me. That movie I remember fondly. I haven't watched it in a long time, so I don't know if it still holds up fondly, but that was at least a step in the right direction. And video game movies these days, I mean, they're still hit or miss. There was Prince of Persia. I don't know how that one did. I never saw it. But there's tons of them out there, Hitman and everything else. So I'm curious to hear what your guys' thoughts are on video game movies. What was the first one you saw? I'm especially curious if any of you, for your first video game movie was the Super Mario Brothers movie, because I'd love to hear what your thoughts were when that first came out, when you first saw it, what your thoughts were back in the day when that first came out. So yeah, that's all I got for this one, guys. Thanks for watching.